We had a viewer requested video. So they left a message on the Buick Verano video and they asked for a tour engine as far as sensor location and what they're called. So since the Verano's in for service this week and he caught me just before I called the customer, we're going to go ahead and fulfill his request for a video. So a little background on this vehicle. This is a 2.4 LEA engine. They're known as LEA engines. Same engines used in the Chevy Equinox, the Acadia. I think Cadillac used it in one of their small cars. I'm not real sure. But that LEA engine ran from 2010 to 2018. There's minor differences between them, such as on the Chevy version, instead of having just this cover, you have a big snorkel tube that comes down onto the throttle body, whereas on this car, you just have this little basic system. PCV hooks up the same, all the sensors are the same. So this video will work for the LEA engines. They made another engine. It's also a 2.4. The only difference is the compression's different. Everything else is the same. So on the non-snorkel tube engines, so non-Equinox, you have a bolt sits over here. It's a 10 mil. If you've taken your car apart, you already know about it. If you want to convert to the Equinox system, you can. Let me get this foam lid off, and I'll show you some stuff. Okay, because on the Equinox engines, they've got two little hold downs in the back. This one doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. They got two little hold downs on the back. And then for that snorkel tube, they got two more that are bolted in between these two bolt holes right here. So this is going to be a sensor and a component location video. So let's get started. You got to take your foam cover off. We'll set that to the side. We'll start on the back and work our way around the front. So on the very back, that is your upstream O2 sensor. So that would be your sensor 1. Then you got your wiring over there that goes down to sensor 2. Sensor 2 sits on the bottom side of the converter. I believe it's just on the back side of the flex pipe. It sits in the side of the pipe. These are your coil packs, 1 through 4. These are your VVT solenoids. The solenoids themselves are not interchangeable because the connectors are different. I'm not going to take them apart to show you. You can take your own apart. This is your exhaust because it's facing the exhaust. This is your intake because it's facing the intake. These are removable without taking the valve cover off. You can take those two 10 mil screws out and they come right out, no problem. Okay, so moving around. Let's see, this is your high pressure fuel pump. We've done a video on that. Your oil filter sits down there. Real quick about oil filter is if you're checking your oil, you want it sitting on a level surface. And if it's been running, let it sit for about an hour. That way all the oil makes it to the pan. Otherwise, you will have a low oil on your dipstick. Common issue with these cars. They're kind of like Volkswagens. You got to let them sit a little bit before you check your dipstick. All right, over here on the air box, this is your mass airflow. And your ambient temp runs through this sensor. I think that's it that runs through there. So that's what this is. I've changed this sensor. You take out 2 Phillips screws. It slides out of this housing right here. You can also buy it. Well, that's the only way you can get this one because it's not an integrated unit. There's no screen in here. It's all solid. It's all hollow. So I just thought I'd do that for you real quick. This is your fuel pressure relief. This is also if you had a fuel pressure gauge and you were checking your fuel rail pressure, that's where that would be. Your fuel rail sensor sits underneath the intake. It is not visible from up here. Let's see if I can get a good view of it here. Over here in the back, that is your throttle body down there, and that is your throttle body harness. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's your throttle body harness. Over here on the side of the engine, we're on the driver's side of the engine. This is your purge valve right here. So if you get a purge valve code, you're going to be replacing this. On this engine, these rarely go bad. This lead right here goes to the vacuum canister down by the gas tank. So that line goes all the way to the back of the tank. This line here, we just saw it, it goes to the front of the intake. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have here? There's not very many sensors on this car. All right, down here, this little bugger right here, that is your temp sensor. Okay, that's your temp sensor. Your oil pressure switch is usually further down. I can't really see it from here. But all your sensors are going to be on the back of the engine. This is the back of the engine right here. The front of the engine where the belts are, I don't think there's any sensors up front here. So let's see, if you've watched the timing cover video, then you know what's up front here, so we don't really need to go over it. But in case you didn't and you want to know, there's nothing up front. Your belt's down underneath the motor mount. And then, of course, if you want to know how to do the timing cover, we've got a video for that. Your alternator sits down there. Cooling fans are up front. Okay, this car has a resistor right here for the cooling fans. So if your fans quit working or you get an error code, you want to check this resistor, because this is where the power for the cooling fans comes from, right here. That right there, that is GM's version of an amp clamp. What that does is that measures amp spikes. If you have electronic amp control like this car does, then you can look up battery voltage on your dashboard. Some Chevy trucks have this feature, except on the Chevy truck it more accurately moves the gauge. This, of course, is your PCM. Move this out of the way. We've got your battery, your fuse box right there. You've got your brakes right there, your coolant right there. Air conditioning. Let me show you where that's at, because they've got it hidden on this car. This is your high side right here. Your low side is down there. My advice, if you're going to do AC service with your gauges, wait for it to get cold, because this engine gets really hot, and getting down here with a hot engine, you will burn yourself, because I already have. That's one of the services this car had, was it was low on Freon. So that, and it was due for oil change. So that's all there is to it, really. If you need this replacement part, that's the part number for it. I think I showed that in a video. The original one broke, so this was a little over $100, and I paid for that out of pocket because I broke it. I didn't charge my customer for it because it wasn't them that broke it. So let's see. Oh, I did forget a sensor. That right there is your MAP sensor, or manifold pressure sensor. Let me see if I can get a better view of it. Right down there. That's your manifold pressure sensor. So I think that's it. And of course, you know where everything else is on it. Hope this helps. Car's going home today, so if you have any other Verano requests, I'll have to get to them when the car comes back for service. And I'm pretty sure it will, because on the air conditioner, I found the green stuff, which is usually the dye, and the only time it shows up on the air compressor or the AC compressor is when the compressor's leaking. So she may have cold air for up to maybe a month or two, but it's going to come back, and I'm going to tell her, I said, when it goes warm, that's when it's time to change the compressor. And they're not cheap. So I'm hoping that she's got at least the rest of the summer before she needs to have that compressor changed. Because these cars also use the compressor for drying out the air in the winter time, so you don't get frost on the inside of your windshield. So that's a problem for the northern climates, but down where I'm at, we don't have that problem. So, and put your cap back on, we can put the bolt back in it, and that's it for this one. Now, you'll see on the Equinox engines, you'll have this same bolt hole down here, but it's not used. So if you have one of these engines and you don't want to put the 10 mil back in the cover so that you can easily get the cover on and off, especially if you're doing a lot of work on it, you don't have to put the bolt back in it. You can leave the bolt out. So, but that's all there is to an LEA engine. Now, if you want to see the 2.2, if you have an older car like a, 99 to, no, they brought the 2.2 out in 2001. So an 01 to 09 2.2 Ecotec, we can do that at any time because that I have in my Pontiac. And I'll be more than happy to do a walk around on the Pontiac. So, but yep, this is the viewer requested video because he wrote me and said that he works on his wife's Verano a lot and he'd like to know what the sensors were called. So I'm hoping this is helpful. So if you have any requests like that on a vehicle that you've seen on the channel, go ahead and send me a message down in the comments. Or if you need to have more detail, you can email me and I will happily respond to your email. Other than that, we'll see you on the... Oh, hang on. Before we sign off, this little sucker right here, if there's a wire on the back, this one doesn't have a wire on the back. There are some of these that have a wire on the back. That is for your hood button. On this one, we've got, let's see, back here, found some more sensors. This here is your hood release sensor. This is, if you were to unplug that, your hood open message would not come on. This down here, that is your airbag sensor. So you've got another one over here on this side. Let me see if I can find it. Get my hand out of the camera. Yeah, there's your other airbag sensor right there. So you got one on each side. That's a ground strap. And that's a ground strap. So, but I thought I'd show that to you real quick. So, if you need anything, just let me know and we'll see you on the next one.